So, thanks so much for doing that, Frank. How can you sort of describe the experience?
Well, I've been to the 12 Bar many times. I've seen some of my favourite shows there. I saw Jamie T there in 2006, one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. But I've never actually played there. And so I'm feeling very good because I've ticked that off my bucket list. But also, I mean, just, that's what live music's actually about. Fuck everything else. Standing on a pool table, no PA, stamping and shouting, and everybody in the room being part of the show. So I mean, that's what gigs are supposed to be like in my head. And so it was a privilege to be part of it.
So what was it that kind of drew you into wanting to do this show?
Well,
I mean, you're sure you get these kind of offers up quite a lot, but
it's funny actually. So Twitter's a nightmare, and I generally ignore most of what happens on Twitter. But I saw a tweet from someone somewhere suggesting the idea of playing here, and you were involved in the tweet as well. And it just kind of, for once, I just kind of went, actually, fuck, that is something worth being involved in. I've been doing Independent Venue Week last week, trying to look after venues that do exist. Obviously, 12 Bar's being condemned. I mean, I don't want to be overly pessimistic. I doubt it's going to get saved, if I'm honest with you. But having said that, the thing is, there are times when it's important to stand up and be counted and publicly state the things you believe. And even if the tide's going one way, to fucking stand in the middle of it, facing the other way, going, I disagree with this. This is bullshit. And I just get really worked up because if this was a fucking opera house or something, it'd be a whole different story. And rock and roll is the runt of the art and culture world, and it fucking shouldn't be, right? I mean, partly because it's been around for not that far off 100 years now, but also because it's a non-subsidised part of the arts. Do you know what I mean? That's part of the reason I love it. We're completely independent. We're not asking for anybody's help. We're not asking for anyone's money. We're not saying give us a bunch of cash. We're saying leave us the fuck alone and let's do the thing that we do with our friends that makes our lives worth fucking living, and stop shitting all over it. And so, like I say, I mean, whether or not the 12 Bar will survive, I don't know.
But it's a more important thing.
Yeah, it's a statement. It's a way of standing up and just kind of going, I stand for something different than fucking cross-rail government shit and big developers and all that kind of thing. And my corner of culture, our corner of culture, is important and it matters.
So that would be your message you would send out to cross-rail.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, I'm old, without wanting to sound overly cynical, I'm kind of old enough to be aware of the limitations of kind of direct action and protest and all that kind of thing. And I don't think we're going to save the world by doing gigs standing on a pool table to 100 people in the room.
Yeah.
But it's like I say, it's a statement of intent. It's a statement of who we are, what our culture is, what our community is, and that we care about it. And it's not just some sort of passing fucking fad. This is the thing that makes us who we are. My entire life is defined by gigs and live music, and 90% of which take place in places like 12 Bar, small, dank rooms, graffiti on the walls, and band stickers, and a broken PA.
Someone thinking that you're a secret agent.
Yeah, and somebody accused me of being a secret agent. And that's who I am, and I'm fucking 33, and that means that's who I'm going to be for all my whole life. And I'll go to my grave and I'll be a guy who went to loads of gigs, and that's not a casual thing to say. It's an important thing.
So when we were booking this show, we've been chatting on email. You knew fully. I mean, you just did something illegal. Like, you could be arrested. If they had come in, then the police, we'd have all been arrested.
Yeah.
What was that a concern? Like, what?
Again, I want to be realist about this. I don't want to kind of stand here like I'm fucking, Martin Luther King or some shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I mean, I did think about that when we were talking about it.
It's a risk,
It is a risk, and I felt like it was a risk worth taking. I think I'd spend a night in the cells for the right to fucking play live music people want to hear it. Yeah, fuck yeah, absolutely.
That's great to hear. And what would be your sort of defining memory from the show?
Actually, I'll tell you what my defining memory of the show is. Playing the song line called Love Iron Song, which is a song that I've had mixed feelings about over the years. There are days when I love it and there are days when I don't. But and I actually hadn't played it for about a year before today, to be honest. And that's partly because I've got shit tons of songs and I try and mix shit up and set lists and not play the same shit all at the same time. But it felt really good because I felt really in tune with that song tonight. I felt like it was a song that was written about precisely this kind of occasion. And I introduced it by saying it's a song about knowing you're going to lose, but still fighting anyway. And I kind of feel that's what
Sisyphean struggle, just
kind of going. It doesn't fucking matter that it's unrealistic. It matters that a statement was made.
Yeah, and I think that it's really commendable what you did, and I think that everyone really appreciated it. And Joe Wiley shouted us out in the show. I mean, these guys are getting the support from.
Well, here's the thing. I know I've just sounded really pessimistic all the way through this interview, but if this place does survive, if the things that I do tonight and the things that everybody, more importantly, the things that everybody else who's here does tonight, and people talking about it and that kind of shit, if that adds up to something, I couldn't be fucking happier. I fucking hope it happens. It would make my day. Whether it does, I have no idea. But it was, you know what? If the 12 bars still here in 10 years' time, then I will be a happy motherfucker.
Awesome.
And I'll play it again. Thanks for having me, man.
Frank Turner at the 12 Bar. That was one of the best shows I've ever seen.
Thank you, man.